Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're taking a look at the pineal gland.
Yeah, and it's, long association with mystical power, the third eye, that sort of thing.
Exactly. And our main source for this exploration is the book, Alchemy of the Pineal Gland.
And if you're looking to get up to speed quickly, really understand this topic, well, that's what we're here for.
Right. Our mission, so to speak, for this deep dive is to unpack what the book says about activating the pineal gland.
And its supposed effects on, well, consciousness and how we perceive everything around us.
The author of Alchemy of the Pineal Gland really starts with a distinct perspective.
Definitely. They suggest activating the pineal gland isn't just, a minor thing. It could be like opening a portal.
A portal to cosmic energy, connecting with higher planes, even the cosmic mind.
That's the idea presented. It's quite a contrast to the view that reality just popped out of randomness.
Okay, so let's get into that. The book brings up the Kabbalion, right?
It does, quoting that life and mind can never evolve from blind energy.
So the core idea is that consciousness isn't a result, it's the starting point.
Precisely. Consciousness as the prime factor in reality. It kind of shifts the focus from, say, purely Newtonian physics.
Towards something more like what quantum physics hints at, that consciousness plays a role.
Exactly. The idea is that awareness itself is eternal. It's always been here.
Underlying all forms of life, from us to, well, everything.
Yeah. And the sheer diversity of life, all the different forms we see.
It's not random.
According to this view, no. It's different patterns of this fundamental awareness creating variety, almost like a hologram.
A hologram effect, where the whole is in every part.
Kind of, yeah. The book uses that analogy from Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi, the enlightened one being like a river merging into the ocean.
Becoming one with the source. Interconnectedness.
That's the feeling. But if awareness is universal, why do we feel like separate individuals?
Good question. The book calls individual awareness a cosmic traffic conductor.
Right, suggesting our sense of self, our individuality is really just our unique point of perspective within that larger awareness.
Like those Russian dolls nesting inside each other.
That's the analogy used, yeah. Each doll is a different scale, but all part of the same thing.
So from tiny particles to huge galaxies, it's all perspectives within the one.
Mm-hmm. It echoes as above, so below, and that Kabbalistic idea of Adam Quadman.
The cosmic human mirroring the universe.
Exactly. Patterns reflecting across all scales. Which leads us to the pineal gland itself.
Okay, so the book presents it as more than just biology. It's a cosmic antenna.
That's the term used, like a radio sending and receiving thoughts, but from the Akasha space itself.
Linking us to divine intellect, to cosmic truth? Is that the idea?
That's the idea, that we have this built-in biological bridge to a larger information field.
And how does that connection work? The book mentions divisions based on Kabbalah.
Yeah, think of them as levels, from pure intellect and truth.
Down through feelings, emotions, drama.
To instincts and individual expression, and finally the physical level, grounding.
So the pineal gland integrates us with the divine across all these levels, not just some vague spiritual thing.
Right. It's presented as the interface point. And these levels, these dimensions of consciousness.
They're about frequency, like tuning a radio.
That's the analogy. Differences in the frequency of quanta oscillation. The book mentions the experience of salvia as an example of shifting frequencies.
And the color, often associated with the activated third eye, that indigo, bluish purple.
Could represent that higher frequency, yeah.
So energy flows from above, let's say.
Descending through gravity, according to the text, and the pineal gland is the receiver.
The book brings in concepts like the Merkaba and Nassim Harameyn's vector equilibrium here.
Yes, suggesting these geometric structures are fundamental to the vacuum, to space itself.
And these structures help channel that energy flow towards the pineal gland.
That's the implication. Energy assuming specific shapes, like the star tetrahedron or the dual torus.
It mentions a Kabbalah quote, too, about a drop forming from the meeting of winds.
Containing a divine idea, it reinforces that energy and consciousness organize geometrically.
And it's dynamic. Our thoughts spiral out from the pineal gland.
In a fractal pattern, yes. While energy simultaneously flows in, it's described as a cosmic feedback loop.
And this loop is how Kundalini Shakti, that spiritual energy, enters, and how we might perceive beyond our normal senses.
According to the text, yes, awareness isn't limited by the physical body in this view.
But there's a catch, right? Pineal gland atrophy.
Yeah, the book argues that for most modern humans, the gland is, well, underperforming. Often calcified.
Like a blocked pipe.
Pretty much. hindering that connection to intuition, higher self, the flow of Kundalini.
And this can keep us stuck in our lower nature, focused only on the physical.
That's the suggestion. Trapped, in a sense.
The author even links this to, like, societal conditioning, mass indoctrination.
Suggesting an overemphasis on lower chakras roots, sacral, solar plexus, materialism, survival, power struggles.
Instead of focusing on the third eye center, understanding and wisdom.
Right. And the argument is that focusing on the third eye can actually help activate Kundalini and bring the other chakras into balance.
Okay, so what's the difference between an atrophied gland and an active one? What would you notice?
Well, prana, life force energy, the book says you'd feel it flowing more strongly, a sense of vitality.
And the electromagnetic field, it's stronger?
Apparently, yes. Radiating from the heart, projected via the pineal. This field is supposedly how we interact with Earth's energy, maybe even enabling things like, well, the book mentions teleportation as a possibility tied to this.
Wow, okay. And a weaker field means less connection to those creative forces.
That's the implication. And then there's intuition, not just gut feelings, but a cosmic intuition.
Accessing information beyond the senses, like a universal library. Library at the end of time, as the book puts it.
Exactly, like having a super fast internet connection to the Akashic records versus dial-up or no connection at all.
So, psychic phenomena aren't weird anomalies, the potentials of our multidimensional consciousness focused through the pineal.
That's how it's framed. The book even quotes Bill Hicks on TV and the third eye, which is pointed.
This brings us to cosmic energy itself. The book cites the Atharva Veda,
saying space eye is cosmic energy. Not emptiness, but a dynamic, subtle field.
full of potential. And this energy is flowing, organizing.
Creating the illusion of distance because it moves so fast, connecting all points almost instantly.
Yeah.
It carries intelligence, structure.
It mentions Madame Blavatsky's germ in the root, Mula Prakriti.
Yes, suggesting each of us is a divine idea unfolding within this cosmic process.
Like puppets in the hands of a divine mind, but essential parts of the whole.
That's one analogy used. It emphasizes interconnectedness. And quote Satya Sai Baba, God is not so far away, he is always near you.
And this energy flows through everything, galaxies to cells, via black holes at the core. That's Nassim Haramein's idea again.
Right, and esoterically, these black holes are seen as windows of perception for consciousness.
Different dimensions are just different bandwidths, different frequencies of this energy.
Like the dream world and our astral body existing on a different frequency band.
And the vacuum isn't empty. It's circulating this energy in a dual torus shape.
Constantly flowing, yeah. And crucially, our thoughts direct this energy.
So what we focus on, intend, can actually shape this energy sea, leading to manifestation, especially on the astral plane.
That's the power attributed to thought, which is why the book warns about things like commercials acting as astral memes.
Planting ideas in the collective subconscious that then tend to manifest physically.
Potentially. Our minds project reality onto this cosmic energy screen. And the mind isn't just in the head, it's everywhere.
Which allows for interaction between dimensions, explaining sightings of angels, ghosts.
Or the conscious building of a body of light, yeah.
And inside this energy flow, there's a still point, a stargate.
The silence of your own gravity, as the text puts it. Inner stillness is presented as absolutely crucial.
Why?
Because a constantly chattering mind blocks the flow, prevents channeling that cosmic energy through the pineal gland. Silence allows connection.
It quotes the secret wisdom of the Kabbalah about light and its complements creating the world.
Reinforcing balance. And it acknowledges that cosmic energy is just a label for something beyond words.
So activating the pineal means tuning into this energy, feeling it, perhaps in the forehead.
Often described that way, yes. The book shows an alchemical drawing illustrating subtle energy portals.
And through gnosis, direct knowing, we vibrate higher, connect via the pineal and crown.
That's the path described. When Kundalini Shakti awakens within you, it's like gaining the key to heaven, unlocking potential.
Let's shift to wisdom and understanding. The tree of life symbol comes up.
As a universal framework, yeah. Focusing on the top three Sephiroth. Kether, awareness, Chokmah, wisdom, logos, truth, and Bina, understanding, Holy Mother.
These relate directly to the third eye center.
Yes. The idea is that you need both wisdom, the intuitive knowing of truth, and understanding the intellectual grasp to activate the pineal gland.
So expanding our understanding with this logoic wisdom prepares the way. It helps us resonate higher.
Exactly. This wisdom is presented as sacred, eternal, cosmic truth, the Word of God.
The author recommends specific books to help recalibrate understanding.
Yes, things like Maharshi's Be As You Are, the Kabbalion, with its 7 principles, mentalism, correspondence, vibration, etc. Sivananda's Thought Power, Tronvalo Melchizedek's Flower of Life.
And classics like the Tao Te Ching Upanishads. The goal is realignment with that third eye center.
Right. And the book talks about clicks, moments of insight, epiphanies. These are seen as activation moments.
But you need stillness to integrate them.
Yes. And focused attention is needed to break free from the matrix of collective thought patterns.
When understanding shifts, the brain hemispheres harmonize. The EM field stabilizes.
Leading to readiness for higher energies like Shaktipat. It helps manage impulses, maybe even aging.
There's that Eastern saying.
Show me a man who thinks with his heart and feels with his mind, integrating intuition and intellect.
The book includes excerpts from Jagaguru Tractate Tablet 1. What are the key takeaways there?
Oh, profound stuff. The nature of I am, emptiness and fullness, form as reflections of thought geometry, creation as thinking, the energetic tree of life, the importance of silence, illusion, the mystery, clearing wrong thought.
Renouncing culture for the heart, unceasing meditation, the self collapsing like a black hole, stillness as the foundation. Deep concepts.
Very. Which leads nicely into Shaktipat.
Defined as the descent of Kundalini energy from guru to disciple.
That's the traditional Sanskrit definition, yeah. And it can be transmitted in many ways.
Word, look, thought, touch, distance, even through objects.
Apparently so. The author shares a personal experience of receiving it during meditation.
And later transmitting tingling sensations during online group meditations.
Yes, strengthening their view that Shaktipat is a primary activation method.
But you need to be ready. That Lagoic understanding is key.
That's emphasized. The quote from Madame Blavatsky about abandoning mass-herd reality fits here.
Is finding a true guru, a Sadguru, difficult now?
The book suggests many have withdrawn from mass culture, but it also mentions the idea of Buddha boys, indigos.
As perhaps new kinds of emissaries or avatars.
That's one interpretation offered. And the effects of Shaktipat are listed as pretty major.
DNA activation, light body activation, activating pineal, thymus, pituitary glands, awakening chakras, potential immortality.
Those are the purported effects, yes. The author mentions their own free group meditations and paid sessions, providing contact info.
And the idea is that consciousness isn't bound by space, so energy can be sent remotely, even via recordings.
That's the principle explained for why distance healing or recorded transmissions might work.
Okay, besides Shaktipat, how can someone actively cultivate prana, this light energy?
Well, awareness is key. As you tune in, you become more sensitive to energies, good and bad. Meditation is vital, but not the only way.
What are some specific techniques mentioned?
Let's see. Lotus position or sitting on folded legs for grounding. Conscious breathing, focusing on the NOW.
The fourfold breath. 4 seconds in, hold, out, hold.
Yes. Third eye breathing. Imagining light entering there. Flaming heart activation, using hands to feel heat at the heart center.
Crown chakra breathing, combining it with the heart activation.
And, crucially, silencing your mind. Stillness is fundamental.
Creating the Merkaba visually. Focusing on energy centers, third eye, then heart.
Those two.
Right.
Lying down with crystals, especially clear quartz, on the chakras.
The book mentions cannabis meditation.
It does, based on the author's and friends' experiences, but stresses it's a personal choice and path.
Unconditional love is listed as a method.
Yes, a powerful energy cultivator, plus things like Reiki, Qigong, Tai Chi, acupuncture, general awareness expansion, group meditation, conscious sex practices like those from Mantak Chia.
But the bottom line is,
being 100% present in the moment with self-knowledge, free from attachment, that's the best way to cultivate energy.
which flows right into mindfulness. A core Buddhist idea, right?
Absolutely, for regaining control over the mind, stopping suffering. And it's presented as vital for maintaining pineal activation.
How does it help maintain activation?
By regulating the fourth brain, habitual thinking, aging patterns, sleep cycles, it stabilizes the brain's EM field, allowing clearer connection.
Benefits include stress reduction, saving energy, seeing reality more clearly, facilitating enlightenment.
Those are the claims. The basic practice is just being aware of your breathing. Simple, but powerful.
The book stresses thoughts are things. They travel through mental planes, affect others via law of attraction.
Yeah, suggesting disciplined minds attract divine thoughts, while undisciplined ones pick up negativity.
And media shapes our thought parameters.
A strong point made in the text. It quotes the Buddha. What you think you will become.
Thoughts like pebbles creating future ripples.
That's the analogy, explaining how societal trends might start from collective thought patterns.
And the pineal gland is where consciousness interfaces with these mental planes, inputting code into the matrix.
A fascinating way to put it. The quality of the pebble's thoughts from a still mind versus an erratic one makes a huge difference.
The masses are often brainwashed, driven by endless desires.
That's the critique, leading to disempowerment. The ultimate state of mindfulness is presented as non-desire.
Not having things, but not being attached to the desire for them.
Exactly. This builds the foundation for nirvana, maintains pineal power. Focus on the N, now W.
True activation means aligning with what is beyond cultural narratives, even spiritual ones.
Yes, the absolute key is knowing who you are, which is beyond knowing, beyond labels.
Labels are delusions, ignorance of self.
That's the perspective. Seeing the mystery of your own existence daily helps avoid delusion, gain mind mastery, perceive reality clearly.
Okay, let's talk powers. The pineal gland has the seat of psychic potential.
That's the traditional view, and the book agrees. It uses a diagram showing it as a stargate to the monad, the spark of the creator.
Energy steps down from the monadic plane to the physical, with thoughts manifesting via the emotional astral body.
Right, this whole system supposedly gives us the potential to influence reality subtly, hence being psychic.
Picking up bad vibes is just tuning into subtle mental vibrations traveling through the 7 mental planes.
That's the explanation offered. The book lists them from the highest, Attic, or divine.
Down through monadic, atmic nirvanic, Buddhic intuitional, mental causal, astral emotional, to physical etheric.
Each plane has its characteristics. The atmic is pure spiritual will, Buddhic is divine wisdom intuition, mental has concrete and abstract thought.
Astral is the emotional plane, desires governed by attraction, no time distance, the world of Maya.
And physical etheric is our dense reality plus its energetic template.
And the pineal gland connects us to these, enabling various powers, like teleportation.
Mentioned as plausible, connecting to Earth's EM field, collapsing into subtle form, the author mentions an astral experience.
Energy healing makes sense if there's no real distance, just ether.
That's the logic. Remote viewing is framed as gazing into the causal plane, the plane of memories.
Perceiving the future, reading minds, seeing past lives, also reading the causal or mental planes.
Yes, picking up on possibilities or mental vibrations, psychic leakage.
Materialization of matter, possible via thought energy plus kundalini.
The book suggests it's plausible, giving a gemstone example. Transmutation too, both allegorically and potentially physically, citing a story about lead to gold.
Astral projection involves shifting awareness through etheric layers, using different subtle bodies.
Yes, the text mentions 4 bodies: physical, lunar astral, mercurial, and solar light. Stillness is key to shifting.
And levitation, seeing auras, interdimensional travel, time travel.
Levitation linked to the Taurus field, seeing auras as perceiving higher dimensions around physical forms. Travel via the sacred space, singularity in the heart, using the Taurus Stargate mechanism. Time travel via that same singularity beyond space-time.
Channeling is picking up thoughts based on affinity to mental plane vibrations.
And expanding consciousness allows channeling higher beings. The author claims the book itself was channeled.
Feeling Shi is simply integrating these multidimensional bodies and becoming sensitive to subtle energies.
That's the idea presented.
Now, the book includes a section on DMT.
By someone else.
Yes, DMT in a nutshell, by Lysergic Addict Psychedeliac. It explores the biochemical angle, introducing DMT and 5-MeO-DMT as natural tryptamines, possibly made by the pineal gland, referencing Rick Strassman.
Correct. It highlights the gland's unique structure, melatonin role, ancient seat of the soul idea, light sensitivity.
Its formation at 49 days in the fetus, tying into Buddhist tradition.
And that DMT is part of life, found in plants, animals, released during sleep, meditation, birth, death, stress.
Higher brain activity in kids before calcification. Belief systems shaping reality.
All points mentioned. It cites studies linking DMT to NDEs, OBEs, mystical experiences, ET encounters.
Discusses ayahuasca, yopo, the plant spirit's explanation from shamans.
Yes, and their purported abilities: healing, finding things, discerning truth.
The exact brain mechanism is unknown, but it interacts with serotonin receptors.
And sigma-1, maybe TAR1. It notes DMT's relative safety, rapid metabolism, but potential for panic if unprepared.
Annetta Bozeman's research linking DMT to hyperdimensional geometry. Merkaba, flower of life.
That's mentioned too. Differentiates DMT visual and 5-MeO-DMT psychological, though both alter perception.
Emphasizes these aren't recreational, but recreational, demanding respect.
Definitely. Potential for meeting beings, facing your soul, need for readiness.
Potential for activating dormant DNA, counteracted by EMF, processed foods causing calcification.
That theory is discussed. Remedies mentioned. Meditation, darkness, exogenous DMT, though, views conflict on the last one.
Compares DMT experience recall to dreams meditation.
Yeah.
Ego limits understanding.
Yes, and highlights the power of belief in interpreting the experience, hallucination, or reality. Suggests suspending judgment.
Addresses the just brain chemistry argument by suggesting it's both chemical and real on some level.
A nuanced take. The section also suggests further reading.
Finally, what are the symptoms of activation according to the main author?
The first, often unmistakable sign is that tingling between the eyebrows, like Alka-Seltzer fizzing.
That means it's working. Keep doing what you're doing.
Essentially, yes. Continue reading sacred texts, integrating wisdom. It mentions caution with unverified channeled material, but provides links to some purported high-quality channels.
Re-emphasizes wisdom and understanding as the keys. The Dath-Saphira connection.
Yes, and lists other possible symptoms.
Headaches, dizziness, seeing images, colors, geometry, hearing sounds, vibrations.
Strange tingling, head pressure, detachment, deep emotions surfacing, dreamlike states, vivid dreams.
Seeing auras, ETs, extra-dimensional beings under specific conditions.
High vibration, pure heart, yes. Heartburn feelings, feeling others' emotions, seeing past lives, feeling depressed about surrounding ignorance, other ascension symptoms.
The book uses an analogy for potential discomfort. A shriveled prune being hit with Drano.
Yes. A calcified gland being stimulated might cause temporary issues, like clearing a clogged pipe.
But it passes, leading to better sensations, feeling connected. One foot on earth, one in heaven.
That's the assurance given. Temporary discomfort leads to a more balanced, expanded state.
So, wrapping up this deep dive into Alchemy of the Pineal Gland, we've covered a lot. Consciousness, energy, wisdom.
The potential for expanded perception, all interconnected through this fascinating gland.
It's definitely a huge topic. We hope you, listening, take some time to just mull it over. Notice any clicks of understanding for yourself.
Yeah, reflect on what resonated.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. If our awareness really is the foundation of reality, as the book suggests,
what new possibilities might open up if we consciously engage with this cosmic antenna inside us?
Something to ponder.
Yeah.
We encourage you to check out the resources mentioned if you want to continue your own exploration.
Absolutely. Keep diving deep into consciousness and self-discovery.